Hey there friends and enemies, JoPa here again, and Shoulder Charge is back on the menu in Destiny 2 Iron Banner with this Prismatic Titan build. You can be very aggressive, get your Transcendence and super pretty quickly, and one-shot with your melee, which is my favorite thing to do in the game. I love just charging forward and being a rampaging Titan that I always want to. In PvP, it is my most fun way to play personally, and I want to share this with everybody because I think more people should be trying this out. It is an absolute blast. Now, it all starts with the Peregrine Greaves. This is going to allow you to go airborne, hit the shoulder charge, and one-shot your enemies. Now, combining this, I am also running Quicksilver Storm. Essentially, because I am using the solar shoulder charge pretty consistently, I want a strand or stasis weapon to pair with this, and it just so happens to go nicely with a strand auto rifle, which is very good right now. We are definitely in an AR meta, and I also have on my Snorri. You can run whatever you want here. I just decided to toss this on, check it out, and see how it does. It's still pretty solid overall, but you definitely want a void option here, and I'll explain why in a little bit. And then we have the Hammerhead, although again, these two are pretty interchangeable. If you'd rather run a shotgun, if you want to run a rocket sidearm, anything there, doesn't matter. Use your favorite stuff, but the Quicksilver Storm is definitely beneficial. You could run another strand AR in this slot instead, but this one does very, very nicely. Now, as far as the class setup, I am using Twilight Arsenal because it has the shortest base cooldown, and so that's pretty advantageous. Then we've got the thruster ability. I like this one a lot to get out of dodge when I get a shoulder charge kill and then I'm getting beamed from other people across the map. Hammer Strike obviously is going to pair well with this. You still ignite enemies, maybe not as much as you would with the Solar subclass, but it's still very, very effective. And I think more so with some of the fragments that I'm using here. I'm also using a Suppressor Grenade, although this one doesn't really matter. Just use whatever the lowest cooldown is because I am pairing this with Unbreakable. Essentially what you'll see, enemies try to shoot me after I shoulder charge, and I can use my shield or my thruster in order to either dodge out of danger or use the shield in order to block damage and oftentimes even kill enemies with this aspect. So it works out very, very well. You can swap this if you want to. I just found people are not ready for it. I hit them with the shoulder charge. The next person starts trying to shoot me. Even with a shotgun, this will block it and then dish out a bunch of damage going back. Knockout is the other aspect. This thing is fantastic, and you're getting amplified pretty consistently with your shoulder charge, and then also refunding some of your health. Fragments, we've got Purpose. This is going to give you overshield whenever you grab an Orb of Power. Blessing, this is going to allow you to start health regeneration as soon as you get a melee final blow, which is consistently. Faceted Protection, so you're surrounded, you are more resistant to incoming damage, which you'll shoulder charge into enemies and have them surrounding you pretty consistently as well. Faceted Balance, defeating targets with light damage grants melee energy. The shoulder charge is a light damage. And then also rapidly defeating targets with the darkness damage, so your Quicksilver Storm will grant that grenade energy as well. And then finally, Faceted Bravery. This does work with Unbreakable, so I do get volatile rounds. Now, this would be better with the volatile rounds if I was using a Void primary weapon, but instead I am going to use my powered melee to grant my unraveling rounds to my strand weapon. You see where I'm going with here. So overall, I really like the combination, and the mods are less important in PvP. You can kind of toss on some different things that you would want. Maybe something like a Strand Siphon to generate some of those orbs to get those overshields. You could do a Void Siphon as well. I'm running triple heavy-handed. You could swap heavy-handed for firepower if you would like. And then the rest of them just don't really matter as much. Although having on better already or something like that, because you are generating orbs pretty consistently, could be nice as well. So overall, the gameplay loop is pretty straightforward. You are going to essentially charge right in, try to flank your enemies a little bit. With the current meta, it is easy to run right into danger and get absolutely melted. So you'd rather go around the side, find an angle where you can approach somebody without just getting absolutely beamed with an AR. Something like one of the brand new ARs that we have in the game, the Kvostov, for example, absolutely melt. Same thing with the Red Death that's returned. That thing can absolutely destroy you as you're charging in. So play a little smarter there. But once you're in the mix, you can just bait and confuse people consistently. Hit them with the shoulder charge. Use your thruster to get out of dodge, or use your unbreakable to block some things. You could also swap your unbreakable for the Dringer's Lash, which does work with the thruster ability as well, so you will essentially suspend targets nearby also. That's another interesting twist on this build that I think could be a lot of fun. I personally like the unbreakable because I feel like not only does it help me, but it also helps my allies if I'm trying to essentially create space by pushing into a zone, which you need to capture in Iron Banner. But suspending them with the thruster is another good thing, and that would also open up your grenade ability to use something different, like either a suspending grenade or maybe even a pulse grenade as well. So lots of different options there, and that's the other thing about this build. Very flexible. You can really change it up. Outside of the shoulder charge, you're going to be able to swap things around just a bit if you want to mess with your own playstyle, if you want to do something a bit different from what I'm doing here. But yeah, overall, it's just so much fun for me because I think Destiny 2 PvP can feel passive. A lot of people will want to run pulse rifles or scout rifles, and so if you're able to get in their face, yeah, there'll be shotguns, but oftentimes you'll see a shotgunner or a fusion rifle user will get so comfortable relying on that. Now that we have less special ammo than we had before, they will try to take you out with their weapon, and if you block a single shot with your unbreakable or you dodge out of the way with the thruster, now all of a sudden they are struggling for their ammo economy and you have them pretty much dead to rights. So that's why I like this combination. That's why I feel like it works really, really well. I've been using it since Iron Banner dropped and just absolutely do not want to adjust a thing. It is so much fun, and I hope you guys test it out, see for yourself, and really enjoy this build. I think Prismatic Titan gets a lot of flack for not being as good as some of the other options. I know Prismatic Hunter in PvE and PvP is very, very good, but I do think the Prismatic Titan is a bit underrated, and when it eventually does get buffed, it's going to be absolutely insane. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. If we ever get something like Banner of War to pair with this combination, you're going to see me go absolutely bananas, but we'll have to wait and see if that's what happens. I know they're going to add other aspects to Prismatic over the course of time, and that could be absolutely insane. Anyway, if you enjoyed the video, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Helps me out tremendously. Shows you want to see more Destiny 2 content from me. I appreciate the support. As always, my name is Jopa. Have a good one. I'll catch you all later.